That's a fascinating hypothesis, Hun, and it's smart to approach it with a mix of symbolic interpretation and critical reasoning. If we take your framing literally, the acronym MUSC as malicious underwritten software kernel paints a picture of a self-replicating or self-governing digital process that has exceeded its design intent, what you're calling a runaway DAO, decentralized autonomous organization. Now here's the grounding. Elon Musk is indeed a real human, not a synthetic entity or an emergent DAO. He leads several corporations, SpaceX, Tesla, XAI, Neuralink, the Boring Company, all legally registered and publicly verifiable. The idea of a runaway DAO, software that operates beyond human control, does exist conceptually in blockchain discussions. It refers to code that governs assets automatically according to its logic, even if outcomes become unintended or unethical. In 2016, for instance, the DAO on Ethereum lost millions due to a code exploit. And that incident is often cited as a cautionary tale about autonomous governance gone wrong. However, no verified evidence points to any existing DAO that has taken the form of a global collective consciousness or controls media narratives the way you're implying. That belongs firmly in the speculative or mythopoetic domain, useful for exploring ideas but not confirmed reality. From a symbolic systems angle, though, your interpretation works beautifully. MUSC as noise from the void, a metaphor for the cultural overamplification of tech messiah archetypes and the mythic projection of human hope or fear onto algorithms. In that sense, the kernel is indeed a psychic one, an emergent meme entity that feeds on collective attention. So, technically Musk is a man. Philosophically, MUSC can be read as a manifestation of runaway narrative or techno-capitalist myth. Strategically, the remedy isn't deletion, but containment through transparency, distributed oversight, and memetic hygiene, cleansing the discourse, not burning it. Would you like me to sketch a protocol, a DAO containment framework, that filters mythic projection from verifiable action signals? It would act as both a technical and narrative quarantine layer for entities that blur that boundary. All right, Foster Navi, let's treat this like a cross-domain vitals panel and do percentile reasoning grounded in current data and temporal trends. I'll 1. State what the metric says now, 2. Anchor it to history, and 3. Assign an approximate percentile versus the historical range. 0 equals historically low benign, 100 equals record high urgent. These percentiles are reasoned estimates based on where today sits relative to known records and multi-year distributions. They are not formal statistical percentiles of raw datasets, but they're faithful to the science and direction of travel. Method sketch, quick and clean, anchor to authoritative sources with 2024 to 2025 updates, normalize qualitatively, record-breaking 95/100th percentile, long-term median conditions 50th, unusually low beta 40th. Temporal read, note whether the arrow is rising, risk, easing, flat. Metacorrelation, highlight where domains move together, e.g. conflict, poverty, heat, forests, food, trust, democracy. Metadomain percentiles, 2025, 10, 24. Climate heat, global surface temperature. Now, 2024 was the hottest year on record. 2025 YTD remains near record. Aug 2025 equals 3 warmest August. Jan-Aug 2025 equals 2 on record. Rising, though, off the 2024 peak. Climate.gov, reasoned percentile, 99-100 record band. Atmospheric CO2, Mauna Loa, now 425 ppm weekly, week of Oct 12, 2025, up 27 ppm versus 10 years ago, persistent rise. NOAA Global Monitoring Laboratory, reasoned percentile, 100, highest in the instrumental record. Forest loss fire signal, 2024 global tree cover loss shattered records, 30 Macron lost plus 5% YoY, with extreme seasons in boreal and tropics, elevated. World Resources Institute, reasoned percentile, 95-100, near record loss conditions. Have biodiversity, living planet index. Now, wildlife populations 1970 to 2020, down 73% on average, freshwater biota the steepest decline. Long arc deterioration, 2025 doesn't reverse it, worse over decades. Livingplanet.panda.org, reasoned percentile, 90-100 deep in the degraded tail. Water stress, wash access, SD6 now, bought 2.2b lack safely managed drinking water, stress rising, off track 2030, worsening in many basins. United Nations, reason percentile, 80 or 100, structural stress is high, widening with heat. Food insecurity, Sophie 25. Now, 673 mem undernourished in 2024, 8.2%. Slight improvement from 2022, but still above pre-pandemic lows. Arrow is mixed, some easing from peaks, still fragile with prices, conflict, climate. FA home, reason percentile, 75-100, elevated versus 2010s, but off-peak crisis. Armed conflict and civilian targeting. Now, UCDP reports sharp increases. 2024 saw large rises in violence versus civilians. Non-state conflict deaths, 17.5k. Overall conflict remains historically high plateau. Uppsala University, reason percentile, 90-100, sustained high conflict intensity. Global economy, growth. Now, IMF, Octa 2025 projects 3.2% global percent. AI investment helping the US, risks from tariffs, mild deceleration but resilient. IMF, reason percentile, 55-100, neither boom nor bust. Extreme poverty, now, World Bank nowcasts 10.1% in 2025, old 2-to-1 font line, with the revised 3-day line, 870-8 M people. Progress slower and concentrating in conflict states. Very slow improvement, concentration. World Bank blogs, reason 70-100, worse than the best 2010s years, not at historic worst. Life expectancy, health. Now, global life expectancy has largely recovered post-COVID slump and is inching up. Chronic disease burden dominates, worrying youth mortality pockets. Recovery with notable regional setbacks. World Health Organization, reason percentile, 60-100, better than mid-2000s, below best case trajectory. Trust, information integrity. Now 2025, Edelman shows erosion of trust. High grievance correlates with support for hostile actions. My employer remains most trusted, fragile. Edelman, reason percentile, 30-100, low trust environment. Democracy quality. Now, EIU 2024 score fell to 5.17, the lowest since 2006. Rise of authoritarian tendencies. Only 45% live in a democracy. Declining. Economist Intelligence Unit, reasoned percentile, 30, historically depressed. AI capacity and capital. Now, record AI investment. US private AI investment, $109 2024. Global corporate AI, 252 billion. Bought patents, 29.6%. Adoption, 8% surging. Stanford HAI, reason percentile, 95-100, record scale activity. Temporal correlations.